Do you see how dirty the riverbanks and the mountains are? Dirty in the sense of uncleared, of plants overgrowing. In the past, at least in this area, goats were taking care of clearing the riverbanks and the mountains. But these days, due to political changes, regulatory changes, social changes, changes in food recommendations and ideologies, less and less people are having goats and keeping goats because they can no longer make a living from that activity, because it's no longer allowed to sell your own milk or cheese unless you follow a lot of regulations. Industrial food production has made sure that it's quite prohibitive to engage in small-scale farming, including animal farming, and this has huge consequences for whole ecosystems. Mountains that are not cleared pose a huge risk for wildfires, and in this area we are very familiar with that. And riverbanks that are not cleared also change the whole ecosystem of the rivers, create more shade, and as such the sun doesn't get in and fish actually die. So it's very important to have these animals doing their job by simply being what they are. If they are not kept industrially, closed up in stables, on farms, but taken to the mountains, taken to the rivers by real people, shepherds, goat keepers with their dog, then they access all these inaccessible areas where it's very hard to otherwise clear. And even if they are accessible areas, to clear mountains without animals, you need, by definition, petrol-dependent machinery. And these goats, they are really eating all these plants that we consider weeds, that no human being could ever eat, digest, like even the most thorniest plants. So goats are really the eat it all. They are not as selective as sheep or cows, and they access these areas where no carrot could ever be grown, no broccoli for human consumption. So if they actually eat this diet that they are naturally intended to eat and not raised on soy or corn, they do not compete with humans, with food, with terrain, with land that could be used for growing food for humans. So it's complementary. And they actually transform all these plants that for us are just weeds in a precious food. And of course, since they have been walking outside and pastured, this quality of the milk they produce is completely different than an industrially produced goat's milk. So I just want to raise that awareness of the consequences it can have when we demonize or put in the same bucket all kinds of animal farming. Because traditional animal farming has many, many advantages and is necessary for maintaining the health and fertility of ecosystems.